Morning, Brian. Wondering if you can bring us up to date on the injury situations for Mayer, Buckner, Tyree, Lacey, and if there are any other ones that we might be missing. And also, my question for you is, there's a report out of LA that Dart may be back. So what does that do as far as preparing for between Dart and Slovis at quarterback for USC?
Okay, let's get it all in here. Let's start with the players. Mayer will be starting for us. He's had a good week. We expect him to, contribute, and we'll need him to contribute for us. We're excited about him being back for us. Buckner's had a good week. We're back to getting him involved in the offense. So he's available and will be part of what we do offensively. Jacob Lacey has been limited this week, but we expect that he'll be able to give us something on Saturday. But we'll make that decision probably as we go through today's practice, see how he looks, and then game day. But he practiced yesterday. I don't think he's 100%, but I think he can give us some quality reps. Chris Tyree worked out a little bit yesterday. And, running backs, they've got to be at 100%. I don't know that he's 100% right now. So that'll probably be a game time decision on Chris as well. I think that seems to be all of the injury information relative to what you asked. He very talented quarterback as well. We watched his film and live arm. Slovis obviously we believe is going to be the starter. If they get into any kind of situation where they don't feel like the offense is moving, he certainly go in there. He's just probably a little bit more dynamic on the edge, can get out and run and move around. But they're both outstanding quarterbacks. I don't know that there'd be that much of a difference in terms of our preparation, other than, he's a guy that certainly can pull the ball down and be much more effective, in scrambling situations.
And Priester, you're up next.
Brian, I know you went through a self-scout. I wonder if there are any players that you have determined that you want to see a little bit more on game day, not necessarily freshmen per se, but now that you've reached the midway point. And then secondly, with Brendan Clark's decision, how did you handle scout team quarterback this week?
In terms of self-scouting, I don't know that there was a situation where we needed to feature somebody more as much as we needed to, look at effectiveness within our entire offense, defense, and special teams. So I think it was wanting to make sure that we were balanced, by formation, that we were not giving away any tendencies one way or the other. We looked at, our first couple of drives in games. We looked at first quarter scoring. We looked at our red zone and third down efficiency. So again, not as much as, a particular player, as much as overall, where are the areas that we can be more effective in coaching and schematically. Obviously losing Brendan, forced us to, have a scout team situation, a demonstration situation where, we wanted to continue to have a really competitive situation. So we did a little bit more this week against our defense. We call it pick it period, where we pick some plays that we have in our offense that are similar to USC. And we run them as our offense, kind of high school related, I guess, in a sense. And we wanted to give them some real good looks. So we picked up a little bit of that in terms of ones versus ones going against each other. And we would mimic some of USC's plays. And then we rotated Buckner and Pine went down for a couple of periods when we weren't in team time, and gave those guys a look down there because that's what we needed to do. So we managed it within. Those guys were great, and we helped our defense as well.
Tim O'Malley, you're up next.
Hi, Coach. Just two from me. Number one is Sibo Flemister, reinstated by you after not traveling in the last game. And number two, you've seen so many opponents off of bye weeks these last 3 years, especially. Do you notice that they install different things for you? Is it noticeable on either offense or defense that is how they use their weeks to prepare for you?
Yeah, Sibo is available to us this weekend, and will be available. So, yeah, certainly there are wrinkles that we see on these bye weeks, and we're quite adapted. A lot of people talk about what our first quarter scoring situation is. Well, a lot of times we're making adjustments in the first quarter and at halftime because sometimes it requires that. Some of it is ineffectiveness as well, and not making efficient plays. So yeah, I mean, it's been the nature of it for the last few years that teams are coming off bye weeks, and we have to adjust to some things that we're seeing for the first time. But that's the nature of it, and we kind of adjust as we go.
As a reminder, please use the raise hand function if you want to ask a question. We will go to Eric Hansen next.
Hey, Coach, I got two for you. The first one is kind of a follow-up to the running back Sibo situation. Is Diggs maybe your number two option if Tyree isn't able to go? Has he progressed to that point? Would you like to get Estime involved? The second question involves kind of your developmental work last week, and it's a little bit related to, I think, what Tim asked earlier, but I'm going deeper down the depth chart. Are there some freshmen who haven't played that have impressed you that we haven't seen? For example, Rocco, Kia, and maybe some of the defensive backs.
Yeah. So right now, I would tell you that we have confidence in both Diggs and Sibo if Chris isn't able to go at a high level. Chris could go right now, but I don't know that he's at the level that we want to put him in the game yet. And so we need today, Thursday, and Friday. And my guess is that's going to be a game time decision. Lance is going to have to take a good look at him and talk to Chris and see, if he feels like he can do everything. A lot of this is with the running back. It's when you're pushing on somebody. It's when you're trying to break a tackle. He looks really good running straight, and he can make his cuts. It's when you're in the hole. It's when you're blocking. It's those things. So we're not going to know on him, but we do feel really confident with the other two kids. And Eric, I wouldn't get too worked up on whether it's 2-3. I would really say it's really 2A, 2B with those kids right now, Flemister and Diggs. As it relates to your second question, in terms of other players that may be ascending that we haven't really talked about, I think it's been a process that, as we've kind of moved during the season, that guys are continued to learn and continue to grow. But I would say that, Kia has definitely picked up more of our defense and is feeling more comfortable. I would say Riley, those are the kids that are getting. Xavier Watts is getting closer to breaking through. Rubio is showing some real signs of picking up the things that we want him to do. So I'm pleased with the development of some of the younger players that if they're pressed into playing time, and I would add Rocco to that list. we're kind of getting at that point where, 4 games, you gotta pick your 4 games now. And, do you just use 4 games and just say, all right, you play these 4. And we feel like on the offensive line, Rocco is really close. He's made great progress, but we want to look towards continuity on that group as well. But yeah, he's made really good progress, Rocco, on the offensive line too.
We'll go to Patrick Engel next. Patrick, go right ahead.
Brian, real quick on Xavier Watts. I assume he's still working at Rover there, or was that
Yes,
kind
he
of
is.
okay?
Yes. Yeah. Well, he's been at the nickel rover position. He's cross training. We've got him playing actually a couple of positions. We've got him at nickel. We've got him at safety. And we're really trying to add a lot of work to him because we want to get him on the field. So, this is like preseason camp for him. And he's getting a lot of work right now at both safety and nickel as well.
Angelo DiCarlo, you're next.
Brian, what are you expecting the atmosphere to be like, and how excited is your group to play a night game in Notre Dame Stadium? Obviously, last year, limited crowds. This year you've played during the day at home, but the first time to play in this type of environment since 2019 at home.
Yeah, Angelo, I don't run our ticketing office or marketing. My job is to win football games and put ourselves in a position where we put a good product on the field. I think we do that. I have to hope that, that people want to come out and see our football team play. And that's my job. The expectations would be that this is an incredible atmosphere playing USC, where we haven't played them at home in a while, and everybody's coming out. We're on break, right? And so our students traditionally come back for this game, and I would expect that. But I have a job to do, and that's put a good product on the field. I think we have done that. The rest is up to, what our fan base wants to do. And I hope they want to come out and see this football team play, because it's a gritty, gutsy group of guys that, just play really hard for 4 quarters. So I hope they come out and see them play.